Hey guys, welcome to Dialing In. I'm Eris.
I'm Amaya.
I'm Julia.
And I'm Hajar.
So, Amaya, what is today's podcast topic?
Today's podcast topic is, what do y'all feel about strict parents?
Well, when it comes to strict parents, I think that it really depends on the type of strict parents you have, because you have different types. Like, there are some who are just borderline strict. There are some who gives you a little freedom. There are some who just make your life miserable. So there's different types. What do you guys think?
I think I agree with you were saying. I think that there are different types of strict parents, and I feel like some parents are strict for different reasons. Like, some people are just really overprotective of their children. They want to keep them safe, but some parents, they just are strict because they kind of have a sense of jealousy. What do you think, Hajari?
I say that most parents are strict nowadays just due to the fact of how they grew up or certain situations that have occurred in their early childhood, so they don't want their own child walking down the same path they did. They only
Right.
want better for them. How do you feel, Amaya?
And I would say that sometimes their parents don't trust their kids of what stuff they did in the past, and so it's like it's coming back to them, like when they don't listen to their parents and have an attitude with them, and it's like too much.
What do y'all think is the best way to handle strict parents?
First, I say just first start off with honesty, because honesty builds trust, and those two things take you a long way, especially dealing with a grown up, because there are certain kids that don't have certain privileges due to the fact they wasn't being honest, or a grown up could not trust them. And I say it this way: if your parent tell you to wash the dishes or fold the clothes or make a store errand, and they say bring all the cash back, make sure everything is put up nice and neat, and when they come back, you haven't did that. So this letting them know that, oh, I can't trust them when I'm gone. They're not gonna be responsible for doing what they doing. So that could be one of the reasons that turns them to being strict towards you and limiting certain things for you.
While I don't have a strict parent, if I did have a strict parent, I would try to negotiate with them.
Mhm.
Like, I would say, okay, let me go out with my friends, but if I'm going out with my friends, I have to be at home by a certain time.
Mhm.
Or if I'm going out with my friends, you need to have my location so you know where I am at.
All right.
What do you think, Amaya?
I would say that if I really want to go somewhere and I have a strict parent, I'll talk to my mom or dad about it so they can have a better understanding on why I want to do this and why I want to do that. So they would actually trust me, and like you said, location, they know where I'm at all times.
Right. Piggybacking off of what you said about that communication, telling your parents a week in advance or like before time is a way that they're going to have time to think about, should I let them go, should I not let them go, and stuff like that. So that's one of the things that I think. What do you think, Eris?
So what if your parent is just like, no, you can't go anywhere. Like, it's just whatever you say is no.
First, just have a positive attitude towards it and show them that you're respectful, because parents love a respectful child. I have not seen a parent not loving a respectful child due
Right.
to the fact of them showing how they handle certain situations, and most people get rewarded for that. Like, yeah.
But again, with what you were saying about them being respectful is a way that they're like, well, if you're such a respectful child, then maybe I should start giving you a little freedom towards things. So that's one thing you can do. What do you all think?
And I would say, to add on what you said, the same, because like some parents and children don't really have a connection, and so they really know how to talk it out. And sometimes parents be mean to their children, so their children will not tell them anything, so they just go do it either way it go.
Okay, I agree with y'all was saying. I think I was just thinking, like, do y'all think that parents are stricter when it comes to their children, like if it's a boy or a girl?
Um, I would say gender. It can go both ways. Being with the fact that a boy, he have his own problems, like a black child, being seen with the wrong crowd or just being out late or certain clothing or how they carry themselves, that could be uh offensive to most people. And with the girl, them just being out too late, like parents not gonna like that because anything could happen, and especially if they out by themselves. Like me personally, if I have a sister or something, I wouldn't want her to be out just late as well, and she by herself and nobody is there to watch her or protect her because anything could happen, especially where we're at in Memphis. Like stuff can get crazy. So, yeah, it's not safe.
And to add on to what he said, I feel like about like the sister stuff, I feel like yeah, because like in this generation now, people like to kidnap and basically like take them away from their parents and everything. What do you feel about Aries?
I don't know. When it comes to that, I'm just like, because I feel like, like parents are like stricter when it comes to their girls than their boys. And I feel like it should really be a balance because, like they don't really want their girls out because they're scared of what guys may do.
All right.
But I feel like they should hold their sons accountable
the same
and
stuff.
right. Because they need to raise their sons, respectful and protective
Right.
instead of just like allowing them just to go out because they're a guy.
I really feel like it feels like how you raise your child, because if you raise your child to think like, oh well, don't do this and don't do this, and you just raise your child to make them think, to not have an open mindset and be emotionally intelligent, then maybe your child would just not be the best example in the world. So maybe it really just depends on how you raise your child, which is the restrictions you give them.
I would like to ask, how would y'all control y'all emotions if y'all would have strict parents? Julie?
Well, with strict parents, I would remember to take deep breaths and stuff like that, and just be able to remember about what to do, like being able to breathing exercise, making sure you're hydrated, making sure you have food and stuff like that. Just the regular things you're supposed to do.
So I got a question for you, Julie. So do you feel like meditation can help dealing with your emotions in certain situations?
It really depends on if you let it help, because sometimes you're just so stuck on you don't want help or you don't want. It's your mindset really, because if you say, oh, I don't want this type of help or something like this won't help me, then you won't let it help you, and it could help you. But it really depends on your mindset. What do y'all think?
So if meditation goes wrong, what is your backup plan to help you in this situation?
Well, some people will give up, but there's also things you can do. Like maybe if you could try to invest in getting a therapist or talking to somebody about it, or maybe you could just drink water or stuff, or just go into a safe place in your mind. What do you all think?
I feel like meditation really don't work for me. I feel like I have to listen to like music and be by myself in a quiet place to get everything out of my head if I'm worried about anything, to get me refreshing. What do you think?
For me, like controlling my emotions, I would say just spending time with myself, like recuperating. If I need to go outside and, be in nature and touch some grass, then that's what I'm going to do.
All right.
Right, because at night, sometimes I just have a conversation with myself, and that's just how I recuperate, and that's how I think about my feelings throughout the day, because sometimes I don't really like to communicate my feelings with others, so I just think about it to myself.
Right.
And so I just go in my head, and that's how I think about my feelings.
I'd say for me, controlling my emotions is like playing basketball. That really helps me clear my mind. When I play basketball, I just think about life. Like the ball, the way I think about it, the ball could never let you down. If you ever have a falling moment, you bounce it and it come right back up. So it's gonna continue to lift you up. This how I think about it when I'm playing, and it really just ease my mind and take a lot off.
Yeah, same thing with me. Like I run track, so like I said, I like going outside. So running kind of like clears my head. You know what I'm saying? It just puts all that worry and anxiety that I have on me. Or if I want to talk to God about it, then that's what I'm gonna do.
All right.
Okay, do y'all think age matter when y'all are trying to hang out with y'all friends?
Of course.
Yeah, I would say age does plays a big role, because when it's certain ages of maturity. So like your parents not just gonna trust you at 7 to 8. to just go off by yourself
Right.
because you haven't experienced everything to know
Mhm.
about certain situations and what's going on or how to react to things when stuff going wrong. So I say it does. Age does matter. And also like I can say that too because you know how on certain toy boxes it has an age limit on them due to
Right.
the fact of how they would take care of it and not ruin it.
Yep. I would say like as we get older, like your parents are gonna become stricter, especially when you're a teenager. Because like when you were young, they were taking you to all the birthday parties and stuff like that. That's because they were there with you. But like as you get older, you don't want your mama there. You don't want your dad there sitting beside you at the movie theaters when you with your friends. You want to go there by yourself. And so they have to know that they can trust you and that you're going to be respectful when they're not there. Like, have you ever heard like integrity? Like when you're taking a test, even when nobody's watching, you still need to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like that plays a big role. What do you think, Amaya?
I say to control, according to Hajar, I feel like age matter too because like from like if you like from 5 to like 8, you shouldn't really trust your kids because they really don't know better. But like if you like a teenager, like from 12 to like till you're grown, then you have more maturity and your parents most likely trust you.
Maturity also plays a role because some people, it really depends on the environment you're in, because some people, they have to grow up earlier because of how their parents are, so that also has a role.
Do y'all think that parents are stricter depending on like the oldest child, the youngest child, or middle child? Like, do y'all think that plays a role?
With some people, because there's no real guide to parenting, so then with your first child, you'll have kind of figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
So you're maybe be a little loose or not have all the structure you would need. But once you get to that second child, you'll be like, well, I do kind of know a little something because my first child turned out all right. But when you get to your third child, that's when you're like, oh, well, I've done this twice already, so I have a little bit more experience in this.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that parents may be a little bit stricter with their oldest child. Because
sure.
when they get to their youngest, they're just like a little bit looser. They like, hey, like
You can do it.
Like I know like my cousin, she couldn't get on Instagram or TikTok until she was like, 15.
Right.
But her little sister, who's like 12, has TikTok and an iPhone.
Right.
So it's like you just become looser. What do you think, Hajari?
So I actually have a question for you.
Mhm.
So those apps being limited towards her, how did she turn out? Like, did she turn out good, or is she more sociable?
She turned out really good. She's like you said, sociable. She's very respectful. So I would say like, honestly, getting your phone late, like even though your parents, they may be really strict about, phones and social media, I feel like they're doing that for your own well-being because social media has like a lot of bad stuff on it. So, what do you think, Hajari?
All right. So as you was talking, I was thinking, like, how people grew up back in the day. Do you feel like certain things and expectations that they had, do you think we need to bring them back to our generation? Because our generation, we're not as sociable as they is, or more hands-on. Everything is like electronic. Like what we gonna do if we don't have electronics? It's like our mind go blank, right?
Well, yeah, for sure. But, we do have another podcast topic talking about that. Tuning back, going back. So we will be talking about that on our next podcast episode. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll hope to see y'all next time. Thank you for tuning in to Dialing In. Have a good day.